What started as a campaign to promote Malaysia as a world-class travel destination, the tagline, "Malaysia, truly Asia," went on to be the popular catchphrase for this country. Well, the country has done its part to show that it is indeed a destination travellers should not miss. One of the reasons for this is the country's rich diversity. This is not only in terms of geographical features, but also in terms of culture. So many ethnicities and religions harmoniously coexist in this Southeast Asian paradise. It is a melting pot of ethnic cultures that will amuse you with hundreds of years of history. The country is divided into two huge landmasses separated by the South China Sea. Both parts will offer a unique experience to every traveller. Here's a look at the top 10 places to visit in Malaysia. Number 10. Langkawi. Kick off your Malaysian travel escapade with not just one but 99 beautiful islands. Located in the Andaman Sea off the northwestern coast of Malaysia, Langkawi is one of the most popular holiday destinations in the country. Every island will gift you with an opportunity to experience a different adventure from the other islands. Enjoy the white sand beaches, the mangrove forests, lush mini jungles and mountains. In recent years, Langkawi has been developed to provide the best experience to tourists. There are now a ton of resorts and hotels in the island. The biggest one among these 99 islands is Palau Langkawi, which has an estimated population of 65,000. Palau Langkawi's most prized possession is its natural splendor. You can spend days on end just basking in the sun on the white beaches and taking in the gorgeous limestone formations towering before you. Aside from the beach, you can explore forest parks to catch waterfalls, observe exotic animals, and trek through mangrove forests. The tallest mountains in these archipelago, Gunung Raja and Gunung Matsinchang, offer the most stunning views of the island and even their neighbor country, Thailand. Number 9. Gunung Mulu National Park. Malaysia is home to one of the most awe-inspiring works of nature in Southeast Asia. Some of them can be found in the middle of the Gunung Mulu National Park. It is located in the Sarawak state and holds some of the largest and longest cave systems in the world. In fact, one of them is the Sarawak Chamber that is estimated large enough to hold 40 big aircraft. The park is in the middle of a dense rainforest surrounded by large rivers. Aside from the caver systems, it is famous for its beautiful limestone spires called pinnacles. The pointed spikes of the pinnacles seem menacing at first, but they have their own raw, unique charm that draws many tourists into the national park. Other features worth exploring inside the park are the peaks of Gunung Mulu and Gunung Api, and a karst sinkhole called the Garden of Eden. Number 8. Taman Negara. The words Taman Negara literally mean national park in Malay. It is the country's oldest national park and is known to be one of the oldest rainforests in the world. Taman Negara will give you a new perspective to view things. Actually, it's quite literal. One of the most popular activities to do is the canopy walk, where you get to explore the rainforest from a high hanging bridge over treetops. You can check out the stunning views of the forest from high up the trees. It'll reward you with a different picture from what you would normally see from the ground. One of the best parts of a trip to the Taman Negara are encounters with exotic animals like the Malaysian tigers, Asian elephants, and Sumatran rhinoceros. Exciting adventures await you in the middle of this jungle, such as hiking, cave exploring, and fishing. If a day trip will not be enough for you, it only gets more thrilling when the sun sets. Go on a night safari to check out plants that only bloom at night, as well as glow-in-the-dark fungi and nocturnal animals. You can also visit settlements of an indigenous group known as the Orang Asli. Learn about their tradition and pick up some jungle survival tips. Number 7. Kuala Lumpur. Of course, no Malaysian escapade is complete without at least a day of sightseeing in the capital city, Kuala Lumpur. You will most probably get into Malaysia through the city, so it's just natural to stay for a bit before kicking off your adventures in the rainforests and the beaches of Malaysia. About 200 years ago, this city used to be a quiet tin mining town, very far from the large metropolis that it is today. This city has a vibrant atmosphere thanks to its massive skyscrapers, shopping scene and nightlife. Kuala Lumpur has everything you look for in a city adventure, but a bonus is that it's an affordable place to visit. Get familiar with their monorail system because it'll be your best pick for transportation, given that the traffic can be pretty heavy. Explore the Chinatown, the British buildings, and of course the famous Petronas Twin Towers. Number 6. Kuching. If you want to explore the Malaysian side of Borneo, it's best to start in the city of Kuching. You can also start there if Sarawak State is your primary target for exploration. Kuching is a balance between the gifts of nature and the genius of man. Tall skyscrapers and amazing architecture are surrounded by lush jungles. The city is located on the banks of the Sarawak River. The waterfront is lined with novelty shops, restaurants, and historic landmarks. You can hop on a river cruise expedition after exploring the on-land sites. Take your feet next to the oldest street in Kuching called the Main Bazaar. Here you will find old Chinese temples, markets, and antique shops. There are also a number of museums here showcasing the history of the city and an aquarium featuring fish species from the Sarawak River. Don't be surprised that not far from these city landmarks you will find jungle trails, caves, and waterfalls. That is the magic of Kuching. Number 5. Cameron Highlands. Sip some tea and curate a gallery of green photographs in the vast fields of Cameron Islands. This English-style tableland is one of Malaysia's oldest tourist destinations. Located in the Titiwangsa Mountains, the Cameron Highlands relieve its visitors from the heat of the lowlands. In these vast fields are flower farms, tea plantations, forests, lakes, and a variety of wildlife. Around the Cameron Highlands, you will find a lot of unique and interesting settlements, home to lodging for tourists, markets, and museums. The most popular museum in the area is the Time Tunnel Gallery, which will take you through the years of history of the Camerons. Inside the Cameron Highlands are vegetable farms and fruit orchards that are responsible for a major part of the national supply. You will pass by the Cameron Highlands when you take a drive to the highest point in the country, Mount Brinchang. Number 4. Penang. Off the northwestern coast of the country is a popular destination all year round. Penang Island is popular for its extraordinary cuisine and the historic Georgetown. Because the island is one of the most travelled ship routes, Penang enjoys different influences on its culture. The island is also easily accessible through car or public transport. Some of the must-tries here are the Botanic Gardens and Butterfly Park, as well as the beaches of Batu Ferringhi. Jerajak Island, located in the southeastern tip of Penang, is a tropical paradise that used to be a leper and prison colony. Since Penang is the food capital of Malaysia, you'll be missing out a lot if you do not try the amazing mix of major cuisines from all over the world. Number 3. Malacca. Easily accessible from Kuala Lumpur, Malacca is an ideal extension of your sightseeing trip in the capital city. Malacca was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2008 because it holds a number of important cultural and historical sites. It was the first town colonial forces made contact with in the 15th century. This just means that Malacca plays a huge role in what Malaysia is now as a country. This town was first occupied by the Portuguese, then the Dutch, and lastly the British. Remnants of this history are still intact in some areas of the city. This old town has a calm and peaceful feel to it that provides comfort to travellers wanting to escape the busyness of the neighbouring cities. Number 2. Perhentian Islands. There are two parts to an adventure to the Perhentian Islands. The Perhentian Bazaar, which literally means the Big Perhentian, is the upscale one and is popular with backpackers for its party scene. The Perhentian Kecil, the small Perhentian, caters for families and groups of friends looking for cheaper accommodations and seeking to avoid big party crowds. Regardless of where you choose to stay, both islands are a great place for activities such as snorkeling and diving. The crystal blue waters surrounding these islands are home to corals, fish species, sea turtles, and sharks. There are small paths that connect the islands to each other if you want to go island hopping by foot. Overall, the Perhentian Islands are a great travel destination because accommodation is cheap and you get to choose among tons of water activities. Number 1. Kota Kinabalu. Kota Kinabalu is the capital of Sabah, found in the eastern part of Malaysia. This part offers a much different experience from the rest of the country. Travelers visit this side of Malaysia to explore the rural side of the country with its huge mountains and rich jungles. Mount Kinabalu, the region's highest peak, is the highlight of most vacations in the city. Aside from being considered sacred by locals, this mountain is popular because of the rewarding view of the rest of Sabah from the summit. Expect to be looking out to scenic landscapes on your train ride going through the countryside. Once you reach the more rural areas of Kota Kinabalu, you can bathe in the bubbling hot springs, take a river cruise, or go diving. However, if you prefer to stay in the city centre, you don't have to worry about running out of things to do. You should definitely check out the craft markets, seafood restaurants, museums, and handicraft markets in the waterfront. Malaysia proves to be a destination worthy to spend days or even weeks in. In cross-country trips to countries such as Thailand and Cambodia, this list proves that Malaysia is worth being added to the list. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and plan a trip to this country of vibrant, mixed cultures and rich history.